Graham Murdock's essay, Concentration and Ownership in the Era of Privatization, is more than an analysis of conglomerates' effects on the communication and information systems that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. It is a word of warning and a wake-up call to those who are so trusting of the media and its contents. In the days when proprietors owned only one newspaper title and the cost of entering the market was relatively low, the presence of a voice of the people represented in the press was not nearly as questionable. In fact, the initial purpose of the media was to serve as a resource for citizens or an organ of society for distributing working information. However, since the digital revolution came about, new technologies and opportunities have been created within the media. Whole new types of media are now available, presenting immense political and economic opportunity. Unfortunately, through shareholding, joint ventures, and interlocking dictatorships, the information and content that we now see and hear in the media is selective, biased, and sometimes exaggerated. This is due to the immense power individuals and corporations have developed over the years through privatization policies, integration, denationalization, liberalization, and the relaxation of rules in general governing ownership. As a result, massive conglomerates are growing more and more powerful and influential. As much as our day-to-day actions and choices seem diversified and unique, we are under the influence of up to 6 major corporations, depending on our media interests. What we know and do not know, like and do not like, wear and do not wear, is directly and indirectly a result of media influence. Say someone gets their news from MSNBC, facts from the History Channel, fashion tips from Bravo, and entertainment from the Hallmark Channel. Although this seems like a diverse selection of television channels, they are all owned and controlled by General Electric. What is also interesting is that Viacom, another major communication conglomerate, owns and controls almost all of the most popular music, comedy, and teen show channels. This kind of access leads many to question the degree of potential control over contemporary cultural life that these conglomerates possess. An exaggerated version of such control is portrayed in the movie Josie and the Pussycats. In this early 21st century film, Wyatt, a record executive working for the label Mega Records, discovers Josie, Melody, and Valerie, the financially struggling Pussycats. He offers them a record deal and flies them off to Hollywood, where they are renamed Josie and the Pussycats. However, Mega Records' intentions are not simply to produce great music. By putting subliminal messages under the music, the label gets teens to buy the records and follow a new trend every week. These messages change weekly, such as "Orange is the new pink." As fame and brainwashing take a toll on the band, they discover the intentions of Mega Records and the great lengths that they go to keep their operations secret. For example, the band sponsored by Mega Records prior to Josie and the Pussycats, Du Jour, became too curious and was taken care of. Although the movie was much exaggerated, it certainly reflected the concerns of many when it comes to the information and media content available to them. Murdock questions, how can a communication system dominated by private ownership guarantee the diversity of information and argument required for effective citizenship? The answer is that it cannot. Abuses of power are inevitable when the result for the corporation is generally positive. Many proprietors use media outlets under their control as megaphones for their social and political ambitions, while others specify, limit, or censor the material or content provided due to economic interests and business ties. One example provided by Murdock of limiting material due to business ties was the withdrawing of a record protesting against Japan's Nuclear Program Commission in 1988. This was only due to the fact that the company was a subsidiary of Toshiba, one of the country's leading contractors for nuclear power plants. When the ability to regulate the output of companies owned directly and the ability to influence other companies through the role of competitor or supplier is available, it is typically not ignored. Aside from utilizing ownership control by altering the output of communication conglomerates and companies for direct benefit, owners have the option to use the media as a weapon against competitors. One current example is the constant war between Fox News, MSNBC, and CNN. From Obama's distrust of Fox's seemingly biased reporting to attacks and retaliations between all 3 cable news networks, a form of mass media news broadcasting has been misused with intentions other than to distribute working information to society. There's a growing gap between the number of voices in society and the number heard in the media. This statement made by Murdock could not be truer. However, as the years go on, technologies advance, laws alter, and economic interests trump our democratic society's need for diverse information, this pattern will undoubtedly continue. Unfortunately, as Murdock clearly warns, the deeper their corporate pockets, the greater their ability to shape society.